Hey, what's up you guys? This is Sentai22 here. How you guys all doing? Bringing you another video game review for you. And today I'll be checking out the family computer, Nintendo family computer, also known as the Famicom. This console will be the precursor to one of the greatest video game consoles of all time, the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES. Now I'm going to move the camera for a second. As you can see, there is my PlayStation 4 and there is the Super Famicom. I'll tell you one thing, we have definitely come a long way in terms of video games, that's for sure. I mean, who would have thought that a console from Japan would save the video game industry from being obscured to pretty much going back into mainstream again. I mean, it's certainly one of the greatest achievements that Nintendo has done. It's kind of sad now the way that Nintendo is right now. I mean, their situation is far different than the situation that they had back in the 80s. In the 80s, Nintendo truly rocked. It's kind of a shame they will never go back to their glory days. I mean, I can see Nintendo 10 years from now, much like Sega, as being a company that will make games for their DS as well as for mobile phones, but mostly just their handhelds pretty much, and that's about it. As you can see, this is pretty much the Japanese NES. As you can see, the design looks more console-like than the like the Nintendo Entertainment System. The reason why they've changed the shell of this thing, I mean, it's the same thing hardware wise inside, same with the Nintendo Entertainment System. The reason why they changed the design for this for the American market was because you have to keep in mind, back then in the 1980s, 1983, there was the video game crash, of course. A lot of people weren't buying video games anymore. So they wanted to make the system not look like a console. Instead, they would just call it an entertainment system, a thing that you can hook up to your entertainment devices at the time to make it look nicer in your entertainment room, pretty much. You know, you didn't want this thing to pretty much be an eyesore in your entertainment system, you know? I mean, if you look at it, it does look like a Fisher-Price toy, if you ask me. No offense, Nintendo, but this design looks really, I mean, it doesn't really look great. That's all I have to say. So, alright, let's take a look closely. As you can see, you got the logo here. I'll give you a closer shot. The family computer. You also have this port here, which you can put your peripherals like a gun or other stuff. As well, here on the bottom here, you also have the attachments for the family disk system, which never came out here, of course. Also, you have this little slider here that you can take the cartridges out. Let me give you guys a demo. There you go. You got your on and off switch, although there is no LED, there's no light on it. The indication that the system is on is much like the TurboGrafx or the PC Engine. It has this little just color that tells you when it's on. And you have the reset button right there. So, and let's talk about the controllers. Yeah. As you can see, they're pretty much hardwired into the system, which I don't even know why they did that. For, I guess, you know, maybe Japanese kids will lose the controllers. I mean, come on. Seriously, Nintendo? It's ridiculous. It's a really stupid idea. Thankfully, they didn't do this with the Super Famicom. But yeah, I mean, I wish they could have made the cables a little bit longer. I mean, I can see why kids in Japan, I mean, this was before what happened with the whole Pokemon seizure thing. Kids were watching Japanese kids were watching TV too close to their television sets. So, you you know, thankfully they kind of remedied that with kind of a warning label of every TV show they watch, so that don't stand too close, you know, and whatnot. So, alright, now let's take a look at the controllers. You can see, kind of like the old NES controllers, this one, as you can see, has a mic attachment there. I do know that there's certain games that utilize this feature. I do know Zelda does this. I'm not sure the American version does this as well. Maybe only the Japanese version. So, alright, now let's test this baby out. So here we go. Okay, I got my Super Famicom all set up here with my flat screen Sony Bravia. Keep in mind, for those of you who are planning to get a Famicom, some flat screen TVs will work, some will not work. I tried this on my Vizio, unfortunately it did not work. Even changing to the proper channel, which is 95 for a lot of the Japanese consoles. Also, for those of you who are using a power adapter for this thing, warning, do not use the NES adapter. Just because it says Nintendo on the adapter doesn't mean it will work on the Famicom. It'll actually fry it. Recommendation, get a Sega Model 1 power supply. It definitely works wonders, trust me. So, alright, now let's get started. Alright, let me just put the camera here. 1, 2, 3. Takes a little while. There we go. Keep in mind, if you have a regular old school TV, the sound quality is a lot better. Don't even try to use a flat screen, it doesn't work too well. Also, as well, the Quaxo doesn't really work too well with the sound. Shoot. Definitely an awesome platform, I'll tell you that for sure. Oh shoot. I like this game. It's kind of like a crossover between Mega Man and Ultraman. Mega Ultraman. think that's where they got the inspiration from. Yeah, I'm not very good at this game, I'll tell you that. Certainly fun though. Well, that's pretty much it. I had it. Final verdict, if you are a big Nintendo fan, you should get yourself a family computer. They go for pretty cheap nowadays, around $60 to $70. Depends if you get the one with the yellowing, you know, but that's okay. The console still works, that's what matters. Lucky for me, I got the nice pure white one, thankfully. But yeah, if you bother to get this on eBay, it's pretty cool. It's a little piece of history that should be in your collection. If you, say for example, are a casual gamer, I don't really recommend this. I mean, if you want to play the old classic games, you can also play them on the Wii Virtual Console. However, there are some games that never really got a US release or never really ported to the Virtual Console, such as this game right there. Also, there's games that were never really released in the US, like Double World, because of religious reasons and whatnot. And of course, the infamous Transformer game. But it's a really cool system. And there are adapters for it, so you can actually put the NES cartridges in there, so you can buy this instead of the NES version. So anyway guys, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed my review. What do you guys think of the Super Famicom or the Nintendo Entertainment System? Please post your comments as well. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Sentai22, and thanks for watching.
Just adjust this a little bit.